Oblivion is the fourth game in the Elder Scrolls series, and it's one of those games I've dumped hundreds of hours in. The Elder Scrolls series is rooted in the pen and paper RPGs of old, where players would experience an open-ended adventure by doing whatever they want. The first game was revolutionary at the time, but it received harsh reviews for being extremely buggy. But this was before people realized that glitches were an intended part of the experience, apparently. This was before people just half-ass gave Bethesda the benefit of the doubt for not fixing some of the most blatant glitches that 100% of players ran into. They followed it up with Daggerfall, which apparently has the biggest overworld of all time. It's around the size of Great Britain or some stupid shit. It's the only thing anyone talks about. Is the game fun? Is the story engaging? What happens in the game? Who's the bad guy? Is Todd Howard gay? How's the combat? None of that shit matters. The map is big. Do you know how big the map is? It would literally take a week to travel across this map. Morrowind was the next game that was released, which is the greatest game of all time for all the fucking nerds who just can't get over it. Morrowind was the last game in the series that remained a hardcore RPG, and the first two games have aged like shit, so all the fucking nerds rally behind Morrowind as the greatest fucking masterpiece of all time, which is fine. They eventually released Oblivion, which was streamlined to be more accessible for the fucking casuals. If you haven't realized by now, Oblivion was the first game I played because I'm one of those fucking casuals. I have a ton of respect for the first three games for what they have accomplished, but they're just not for me. The combat in particular can be extremely frustrating early on because of the implementation of hit chance. Usually you'd swing your sword through an enemy's skull, but the game decided that you didn't hit it because of some hidden dice roll. Oblivion works a lot better because when you hit someone in the face with a sword, you hit him in the face! That's how swords work! Then they released Skyrim for all the fucking casuals that were even more casual than the ones who bought Oblivion. Bunch of dude bros who want to kill dragons with swords and shit. Just like, whoa dude, get my dick sucked bro, fucking stab this dragon bro. So then all the fucking casuals that bought Skyrim are praising it as the greatest game of all time, and the slightly less casuals who played Oblivion are like, Skyrim's pretty fun, but Oblivion's still my favorite because it's the first game I played, and all the fucking nerds who played Morrowind are like, Skyrim isn't very good, but at least Oblivion was a fun game, but Morrowind is still the best one because it's the first game I played. Then all the fucking nerds who played Daggerfall are like, the map is so big, the map is so big. Then all the fucking rotting, decrepit pile of corpses who played Elder Scrolls Arena are like, it's still fun, guys. Come on. Anyone? Personally, I like Oblivion the most because I'm one of those fucking casuals who played Oblivion first. Take your D20s, shove them up your fucking ass. So I'm going to talk about Oblivion, and I'll start by talking about one of the most unique things about the game that no one gave a fuck about: the main story. The game starts with your character in jail. Assassins have come to attack the Emperor of Tamriel, and the secret passage out of the city is in your jail cell. So it's your lucky day. The Emperor pardons you, and you can leave your jail cell through this secret passage. The Emperor has foreseen everything that's about to occur in his dreams, including his inevitable death. He gives you the Amulet of Kings and tells you to close shut the jaws of Oblivion. Then he immediately dies, like 3 seconds. Boom. Fuck you. The next step is to find Joffrey in order to track down the last son of the Emperor. All the Emperor's sons have been assassinated, but there remains an illegitimate son that no one knows about. So you find Joffrey at Wenyen Priory to give him the Amulet of Kings. Basically, the Amulet of Kings is a sacred necklace that only the Emperor can wear because he has the dragon blood of the Septums, so only a true heir to the throne can wear the Amulet of Kings because it's fucking magic, I guess. And every time an Emperor is crowned, they use the Amulet of Kings to light the dragon fires at the Temple of the One. With the Emperor dead and no heir to the throne, the dragon fires cannot be lit, which means that shit is super fucked for some reason. So the Emperor's bastard child is named Martin, and he lives in Kvatch. So you just haul ass to Kvatch, but shit is even more fucked. The city's on fucking fire, there's a giant portal to Oblivion, so you have to go into the portal and go into hell to remove the Sigil Stone at the top of this giant tower to close the gate, because the Sigil Stone is what keeps the Oblivion gate open with magic or some shit. So then you close the gate and you help the city guards take back Kvatch and kill all the Daedra. Martin is at the Chapel of Akatosh, and you tell him that he's the Emperor's son, and he agrees to follow you back to Wenyen Priory. Once you arrive, the assassins you ran into before are attacking everyone, and they take the Amulet of Kings. So now you found the heir to the throne, but you don't have the fucking amulet to light the dragon fires. So the group heads out to Cloud Ruler Temple. It's basically a hidden fortress used by the Blades. They're basically a group sworn to protect the dragonborn emperors of Tamriel, not to be confused with Cyrodiil, because Tamriel is the giant continent that all the Elder Scrolls games take place, and Cyrodiil is one of the 9 provinces, which is the homeland of the Imperials, where this game takes place. Got it? No? Okay, it doesn't matter. The Blades have fucking swords, and they're gonna protect Martin in this fucking fortress. And there's this stupid fucking magic shit we gotta get back from the assassins in order to light this magic candle to protect everyone from the demons from hell. It's the hypest shit. Now, the next step is to track down this group of assassins in order to get the Amulet of Kings. You eventually find out that the assassins are called the Mythic Dawn. They're basically this cult that worships the Daedra Lord Mehrunes Dagon. The Daedra Lords are basically like the most powerful Daedra, each with their own plane of Oblivion, and they're basically like this giant pantheon of Daedric gods, who are not actually gods, but they're worshipped as gods by mortal men because they're so fucking powerful. But it's not to be confused with the 9 Divine, who are actually gods bound by the mortal world, which are made up of all the popular religions of Tamriel. It's like this giant clusterfuck of religions bundled together, which involves the 8 Aedra and the Dragonborn Tiber Septim, who was the first emperor of Tamriel. He's like Jesus or some shit. Okay, fuck. Never mind. There's this cult that worships the devil, and they're fucking hella shit up. So this whole part of the game involves getting a bunch of fucking books in order to find all these hidden clues, in order to track down where the Mythic Dawn shrine is located. So you make your way to the shrine to go undercover, pretending to be someone who wants to join the Mythic Dawn. You end up finding Mankar Cameron with the Amulet of Kings, but he escapes in some magic portal. So now the only hope left is to use the Mysterium Xarxes to create a portal to get into Cameron's paradise and get the Amulet of Kings. Martin used to be a priest, so he can basically do this magic shit and create a portal, but he needs a couple of items in order to do it first. The first item is a Daedric artifact from a Daedra Lord. Basically, they're these items created by the Daedric gods, and they're fucking good. They're usually some of the best items in the entire game. Now, it gets a bit confusing because the Daedra Lords aren't actually evil besides Mehrunes Dagon, who's a giant cunt. Most of them have their own agenda, and they're usually associated with certain things. They're almost like patron saints. Usually go to a Daedric Lord shrine, and you'll do a favor for them in exchange for a Daedric artifact. It's pretty straightforward. So once you get a Daedric artifact, you have to then get the blood of a divine, but that's super fucked, because the 9 Divine are actually gods that don't physically interact with the mortal world. But we have to realize that Tiber Septim was basically like Jesus, who became one of the 9 Divines. So you eventually find the armor of Tiber Septim in this hidden tomb, which apparently had his blood on it or some shit. I don't think about it too much. The third item is a great Welkin stone, which is hidden in some ancient Ayleid city. The Ayleids were this race of elves that ruled Cyrodiil during the first era, but it doesn't fucking matter. We're getting too deep into the lore at this point. There's nothing to it. You walk into some ruins and grab it. It's just a stupid fucking stone. It doesn't matter. The fourth item is a great Sigil stone. So the idea is to allow the Mythic Dawn to open up a great Oblivion gate in order to jump inside it and grab the stone. The problem is that a great Oblivion gate will fuck hella shit up. It's what was used to destroy Kvatch. So now Martin is going to lead the fight, because he's going to be the emperor, so he's going to be some badass motherfucker. It's supposed to be this epic battle, but of course the game is kind of old at this point, so everyone's swinging their swords like fucking pool noodles. The gate eventually opens up, and you have to go inside to remove the great Sigil stone. So now Martin has everything he needs to open up a portal to Cameron's paradise using the Mysterium Xarxes in order to get back the fucking Amulet of Kings. You essentially go through all this bullshit, and you finally kill Mankar Cameron and get the Amulet of Kings back. So now Martin can relight the dragon fires, and we can finally stop Mehrunes Dagon from being a giant asshole. You make your way to the Imperial City with Martin, but then shit is even more fucked. Daedra have flooded the city, and Mehrunes Dagon himself is just fucking hella shit up. So shit is fucked. The barriers between Oblivion and Tamriel have been destroyed. Lighting the dragon fires won't protect Tamriel anymore. So you make your way to the Temple of the One, and Martin breaks the Amulet of Kings and merges himself with the spirit of Akatosh, the dragon god of time. He banishes Mehrunes Dagon back to Oblivion, turning into stone as a result. Martin dies in the process while also sealing off the gates to Oblivion forever. That's the ending to the main story, but it's only a small fraction of the entire game. You could easily play the game for hundreds of hours and not even touch the main story at all. I could go into great detail explaining everything, but it's better to go into these games as blind as possible. The best part of the game is exploring Cyrodiil and doing whatever you want. You could slowly walk through the world and uncover all the lore of Tamriel. Maybe read the books, understand all the history of the bordering provinces like some fucking nerd, or you can just grab your sword, follow your quest marker, and fucking kill everything. It's the hypest shit.